Yeah, I think everyone think the coup de grace is let's get the CBA signed and woo pack up and go home. No, no, that's when the party gets started. So I think really making sure that your coalition is negotiating a CBA that's actually practical, that has tangible elements that could be achievable and accomplished in a real pragmatic way. Making sure that you're seeking those things that can actually resolve the challenges of the community, but also benefit the employer. So just first putting that on the front end because you don't want to get a pie in the sky CBA that's gonna end up looking real pretty on paper and then end up on somebody's bookshelf collecting dust. Like that is not what we need. So the implementation really is critical because that CBA also has to have teeth, which means it's enforceable. Our CBAs are held together by arbitration. So, just as our coalition partner and JMA is held accountable to the employer to hold our end of the agreement, the employer is held accountable to us to hold our end of the agreement. So because of the nature of the relationship of this contract, we all take it very seriously. And so what helped us with implementation was really setting up a group of practice, a community of practice of like, what does this relationship look like? How do we satisfy the needs of this community benefits agreement? Let's set some goals and timelines of when we want to accomplish these things, which was also in some parts written into the CBA. So there's specific timelines and stuff written into the CBA, and those are held together by arbitration. So, okay, we want to do a pipeline workforce development, to build out a pre-apprenticeship program. Who's going to do that work? We want to take on racism and gender justice within the workplace, and somebody's going to have to create a third party reporting mechanism to be able to give workers an opportunity to go and file claims against the company if it comes up. A community partner has to be brought in to actually serve that role. We got to do debt clinics. We find the resources, actually bring in attorneys and credit counselors to come in and do that type of work. But the thing that really made it work was having regularly set scheduled meetings with the company to talk about the progress of these goals. Our CBAs have very specific metrics for hiring marginalized communities, 45%. Are they hitting those metrics? 20% of all promotions has to be from marginalized communities. Are we hitting those marks? How do we maneuver to actually get to that point? So, I mean, the Southern team that I'm current director now, Will Tucker, him and his team was meeting with New Flyer every week. I was meeting with them every quarter because that's when they were bringing their top leadership to hear the progress of those goals that was set. And, New Flyer's done good exceeding their goals because of that. But the implementation is critical. Like we had to staff up to be able to, make sure that we have community organizers out there, finding the people to actually put into the pipeline, having a workforce development coordinator, working with the community to get them prepared to go and work into that job site, working with the community colleges to set up credential programs for manufacturing workers so they can have credits to go beyond New Flyer if they would decide to take other opportunities, having a team available to actually, work to make sure that these workers have an opportunity to form a union without opposition. I mean, it's so many things that had to happen in the implementation process, and it was also timelined in a lot of places, and we had to hold our end just like they had to hold their end. So the teeth is really what's critical, but you have to make sure you have the capacity to be able to see it through. Otherwise, it's just a piece of paper.